Thank you, Madam Chair. I support the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade to give the decision back to the people through their elected representatives. Dr. Resnick, the president of the American Medical Association, has repeatedly said today that the decision to have an abortion should be between the doctor and the patient. Yet the same American Medical Association put out a statement supporting government vaccine mandates, which were often against the patient's will. I find your organization's positions to be in contradiction to each other. I have several questions. My first question goes to Dr. Francis. My Democrat colleagues recently passed legislation that removes any requirement for medical supervision when a mother is given chemical abortion pills that carry risks of serious complications. Do you believe that medical supervision should be provided when women are given and taking abortion pills?
Absolutely. So we know that even under medical supervision, medication abortions have a 4 times higher complication rate than do surgical abortions. And in fact, a recent study that looked at Medicaid-linked data from 2002 to 2015 showed a 500% increase in emergency room visits related to abortions. Many of those were due to medication abortions. There are many dangers in women not being supervised medically with an in-person visit when they take abortion pills. The first is that you cannot adequately rule out an ectopic pregnancy without an in-person visit. 50% of women will not have risk factors. Many women will not have symptoms until their ectopic is rupturing. Second, as I said before, you can't accurately date a pregnancy without an in-person exam and/or ultrasound, even according to ACOG's own documentation. Third, women will not be appropriately screened for intimate partner violence, coercion, sex trafficking if it's being done through a website or without an in-person visit.
Thank you. And I have another question for you, Dr. Francis. It's my understanding that previously in this committee hearing, Ms. Sherman called you a racist and other derogatory names. Would you like to respond?
It's Bracy Sherman.
Is it not Ms. Sherman?
No, it's Miss Bracy Sherman, and Bracy is actually the black family.
Excuse me, I
so I'm
reclaim
not
my
surprised.
time.
It's Bracy.
Would you like to respond?
Well, I just would like to say that that I'm here to represent the medical evidence that I use to give my patients compassionate and excellent health care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Sherman, you emphatically stated in your testimony that you are for abortion at any time for any reason. As you may know, the Women's Health Protection Act, which almost every Democrat supported, was on the House floor last week. Do you support this bill that established the right to an abortion at any time and for any reason, including moments before a baby is birthed naturally?
So once again, my last name is Bracy Sherman.
Please answer the question
Bracy
instead
is
of your
my
name.
black family, so I'm
Please
not
answer the
surprised that you're
question.
refusing to use that name.
Are you for the bill or against it?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, I love people who have abortions. They know what's best for their lives, and I will never second guess them. I cannot think of anything more dehumanizing than someone having to wait until you're close to the threat of death to beg someone to save your life, and then providers second guessing whether saving your life is a crime. People find out that they need abortions throughout their pregnancies. Yes, at any time and for any reason. Sometimes it is because of health, but sometimes it's because the barriers that you support make it really difficult for them
I'm reclaiming my
make it
time.
to the clinic as soon as they need to.
You know, there's a lot of
financial
discussion
barriers, that is
today.
logistical barriers.
Excuse me,
I
Madam
support
Chair,
people who
I'm
have
reclaiming
abortions.
my time. Thank you.
The lady's recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A lot has been discussed today about the need for abortions in case there's a risk of the life of the mother. And every state that I am aware of has laws in place that allow for abortions in the case of saving the life of the mother. I also looked up information on how many cases there are of abortions that deal with the life of the mother, and it's a small amount. In Florida in 2020, which requires reporting 0.2% of all abortions they had the abortion because the woman's life was endangered by the pregnancy. 0.98%, there was abortion because there was a serious fetal abnormality. 20.4% of the women that responded, the women had abortions for social or economic reasons. 75% gave no reason, it was elective. So I just want to keep in mind when we talk about saving the
Melodies,
life
time's
of the
expired.
mothers, every state allows that, and I yield back.
Mr.
Thank
Cardenas,
you.
you're recognized for